Welcome to the Jamodi podcast, where we interview coaches and leaders to find out not just what they do, but how they do what they do. Becoming the best version of ourselves is Jamodi, just a matter of doing it. How and when do you meet with your players?
Good question. Since when Steve and I were together with Coach Kruger at UNLV, Coach Kruger did this. He did it when he went to Oklahoma. We do it since we got here. It's just always been a thing. I did it when I was at Finley. Each coach has 3 to 4 players kind of in their core group that we're assigned to. We're kind of, not that we deal only with those 3 or 4, but that's our group. Like if we have a Sunday night meeting, we'll sit with each one of those individually and say, hey, how's your week look academically? You know, what do you got coming up? I'll have their syllabi and I'll know, but I want them to tell me and I want them to know. So it's just another level of protection in terms of checks and balances outside of our academic advisor who does and handles all that, just so that we know and that they know and that they know we know, so they can't slide. But also kind of from a life skills standpoint, hey, checking in on them. You know, hey, when it like now, here's the end of the term. Hey, when's so-and-so, when's Jordan going home? You know, okay, is his mom coming to get him? Is he, going with a friend? How's he getting home? He'll be back when for summer session 1? Just that information so that Steve knows and he kind of has an idea that, hey, he's got other things going, but we know what and where our players are and what's going on in their lives. We also connect with their parents occasionally just to reach out and say, hey, everything's good here. Is anything going on that we should know about or you need us to know about? But also informally, those aren't necessarily scheduled. We're big on seeing our guys, eyes on our guys kind of daily. We encourage them since day one, get in the gym. We finally have guys that what I would term as kind of gym rats. Yeah. If there's an off day, that ball's going to be hitting the floor. There's going to be guys periodically throughout the day that get in the gym. If it's just shooting free throws or what, but they're getting in there. So when we walk by, hey, what's going on? We'll talk to them, visit with them. I personally like to occasionally grab a guy and go get lunch or dinner. One of the things that I really am big on is the shooting drills, like the one we talked about. If anybody gets a 25 out of 25, that's an automatic steak dinner on me, automatic. And I love it because, you get some guys that'll get 10 for 10. And I always chirp while they're shooting. I usually pass and have a manager rebound and I'll say, I'm not worried about it. He's got a long way to go. And then I won't say anything at the beginning. And then maybe they get to 13 and I'll say, oh, he's going for that steak dinner. And I'm not kidding you. As soon as they hear that, they miss their next shot. And it's like that, but that's what I call clutch pressure shooting. Mm-hmm. And what is it in a game? That's clutch and pressure. You have to be able to take that on and handle that and get to that, and you find out some dudes just aren't clutch. They don't have that clutch factor.
Good for you to know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then the ones that do, you're like, okay, this is a dude now. This is a guy, game on the line. We need to run, counter action back to him for a 3. So those are just ways that I like to engage with our guys individually, informally. But it's not always scheduled and regimented. We pop in the dorms or where they live once in a while, just check on them, just see what's going on.
So COVID there's been so many challenges with it the last year and a half, but I'm interested to see if there are some positives in your mind that have come, not from positives from a pandemic, that sounds bad, but things in coaching that now, we've been forced to kind of do this and adjust this way, but we really like it. What are some things?
That's a great question and a great perspective. I think one of the things we when we would huddle up at the end of a practice or a workout or whatever, Steve's really big on engaging the student athletes on campus and being part of the community in the campus environment. Go to a women's soccer game, go to a volleyball game, show support because we want them to come to our games.
Right.
We were always trying to, if there was a student athlete, some type of rally in the evening in the convocation center, we encouraged our guys, and representatives from our program to go and be visible and be seen and be part of it. Well, now during the pandemic, we're saying, go home and isolate. Don't interact. Don't make sure you're not going to other apartments where there's more than 4 or 5 people with other sports. You know what I mean? Just go home and isolate and seclude yourself and shut the door, So it was like, golly, that's so anti what we're about. But at the same time, what it did do is it we said, hey, this is our circle. This is our immediate circle this is our tier that we've got to protect. We can't, we got a season on the line. You guys want to play games. Okay, we don't like it. None of us do, but this is the way we've got to do it if we're interested in playing games. And so I think that to a certain extent, gave us a feeling of, not, I don't want to say us against the world, but it's us, that it truly magnified us as a team. This is our core unit. This is our group. This is us. We're the ones that are responsible for us. We're the ones that are going to make it happen. We're the ones. So I think in that regard, it was good in some aspects.
I can see that. Yeah.
But outside of that, it was we've been going since July 29th, pretty much uninterrupted. And, our hats off to our guys for doing everything we needed to do. We didn't have a COVID interruption.
Wow. That's impressive.
The only interruption we had was we missed our game at Charlotte because of the storm.
Oh, okay.
I mean, go figure. In South Texas, during the pandemic didn't create the issue. It was the friggin' winter storm.
That's right.
So I think it was a grinding year, but nonetheless, our hats off to our guys for doing a tremendous job.
Yeah. One thing that I did because of the pandemic that I will continue to do is, so every year, you have to have a parent meeting in high school. You have to bring them to the gym and you have to inconvenience everybody for about an hour or so, have them. I Zoomed it. And they could be at home on their couch with everybody. And I will, no matter what, when things get back to normal, I will continue to Zoom my parent meeting because I got the most participation in it than I ever have before because they didn't have to go anywhere. So, but kind of a little positive there.
That's huge. Absolutely.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the Jamodi podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.